we talk about betrayal, we talk about regret, we talk about wisdom, and then we say, I did it my way. That's quite a statement. And it takes a lot of heart to say that I did it my way. What meant into making a book on Rajan Lal?
Are you rolling?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What meant of making it into a book is, last 10, 15 years, a lot of my friends have seen my ups and downs in life, more downs than ups. And every time when I handled the situation and I bopped up again as I was drowning and I came up again for fresh air, again succeeded in doing what I did. I've done this many times because I have always swam against the tide, so to speak. And the incidents when you're sitting at parties and in social functions, and then you start narrating your stories and episodes, and everybody used to get quiet and start listening to me. Say, "यार तुम और बोलो ये तुम्हारी बड़ी interesting story है." And this carried on for a number of years, and then somebody turned around and said one day, "Why don't you pen this down and make a book out of it?" I said, "यार who has the time to make a book and write down?" मेरी तो अपनी handwriting जो मैं लिखता हूँ किताबों पे मैं खुद नहीं पढ़ सकता हूँ तो दूसरे क्या पढ़ेंगे. So I said, I don't have the patience and the time for it. And this was in my mind because so many people asked me for it to pen it down because you need to document it. तो जब मेरे ख्याल 4 साल या 4.5 साल पहले जब मंजू आई मेरे को इंटरव्यू करने फिल्म फेयर मिडिल ईस्ट के लिए विच इज़ ओन्ड बाय माय फ्रेंड रिजवान साजन ऑफ डैन्यूब प्रॉपर्टीज, तो उन्होंने कहा भाई राजन की इंटरव्यू करो, इनकी बड़ी फिल्मी बैकग्राउंड है, काफ़ी दोस्तों के साथ मैंने मिलवाया, तो इससे टू इंटरव्यू विद हिम. तो जब इंटरव्यू के लिए आई मंजू तो हम लोग बातचीत करने लग गए, जैसे इनके साथ बातचीत शुरू हुई और एक बॉन्ड बन गया. तो कहते ये तो मैं 2 पेज में नहीं लिख सकती, I'm सॉरी मेरे से नहीं होगा, ये जो आर्टिकल है मैं फिल्म फेयर में छाप दूंगी लेकिन ये काफ़ी नहीं है, आपकी तो पूरी किताब बननी चाहिए. तो मैंने कहा भैया किताब तो बननी चाहिए, लेकिन जब फिर उसने फ़ोटोज़ देखे जो मेरी मदर के पिछले 100 साल की फ़ोटोज़ थी, जो फ़ोटोज़ थी जिन्होंने देखी नहीं थी, और जो काइंड ऑफ बॉलीवुड जर्नी जो थी मेरे पेरेंट्स की, मेरे मामा की वजह से, जेसी जैन की वजह से, जो फिल्म फेयर के जनरल मैनेजर थे और फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड शुरू किया था, तो वो हैरान होगी कि ये तो सारी चीज़ें इतनी, ये तो खजाना है एकदम छुपा हुआ है. तो मैंने कहा अभी क्या करें, कहते एक किताब लिखते हैं. तो मैंने कहा तुम लिखोगी? दिस आई विल राइट द बुक. तो वहाँ से शुरू हुई जर्नी. तो शी स्टार्टेड राइटिंग. हमको 4 साल लग गए, लेकिन मैं कभी फ्री नहीं था, ट्रैवल कर रहा था या ये काम कर रही थी या जो भी था. जब भी टाइम मिले वीकेंड पे हम तो आके अपना ये रिकॉर्डर ऑन करके बैठ जाती, और मैं अपने जहन से, मैंने कोई रेफरेंस नहीं ली, कोई किताब नहीं रखी, ना नोट्स लिखे, ना कुछ. I started from my childhood memory and I came right up to now absolutely with every incident जो मुझे याद था. मैंने कहा कभी भूल गया था, रात को उठता था, फिर मैं बोलता था ये मैं भूल गया, ये इसमें डाल दो. तो ये पूरा जहन में जो तो मेरे था, मैंने देखा था पिछले मेरी 78 इयर्स की जर्नी, कि मैंने बैठ के लिखी. आज भी मैं जब इंटरव्यू देता हूँ या स्पीच देता हूँ या कुछ देता हूँ या अपनी पॉडकास्ट करता हूँ, मैं कभी प्रिपेयर करके नहीं जाता, कभी कुछ तैयारी करके नोट्स लिख के क्या बात करनी. मैंने कहा उस वक्त बोलना चालू हुआ तो चालू हो जाता है और इट जस्ट कम्स नेचुरली. सो that's how I am, and my thinking and focus is very clear on what I'm doing and what I'm going to do. तो ये किताब बन गई 4 साल में, और बनते बनते फिर अब बन गई, और अब आप लोगों के ऊपर है कि कितना इसको बड़ा बनाएं या कितना इसको फैलाएं या इसका नाम करें. ये मेरी जर्नी है.
To spot an extraordinary in this whole flamboyant and a beautiful life journey. Also, I'm sure you have an eye for that. पर जब आप ये किताब लिख रहे थे, and of course there's an emotional bond that of course builds because you live that life through your eyes, and we've been seeing your interviews and you're extremely emotional about it. Investment of those emotions to bring about the best, what it takes to put this on this pedestal and get it with the worldwide release now. The book is releasing on the 1st of March.
Right. First of all, he's a very unusual man. I've been a journalist for 25 years. I've done multiple interviews of people. I'm not as experienced as him, but yes, I have in my field these many years. It is very difficult to have somebody speak his heart out so forthrightly, so honestly, and with a childlike enthusiasm. There is a lot of childlike qualities, and it's very innocent also. And as a writer, as somebody who understands, and it's integrity also, because it's जो भी share करते हैं सर वो बहुत personal है. Though it's going to be in a public space, but उसको अच्छे से present करना, उसके सही words डालना, उसको एक frame देना. It's also my responsibility and putting my little bit of whatever my experiences in his big experience. तो बिल्कुल उनकी वर्ड्स हैं. आई हैव जस्ट गिवन इट अ लिटिल ऑफ वट एवर आई अंडरस्टैंड इन लैंग्वेज एंड वो इमोशंस को हमने कोशिश रखी है, यू नो, द वे ही हैज सेड इट विद दैट एंथुजियाज्म एंड दैट करेज एंड दैट ब्रेवरी, बस उसी को हमने वर्ड्स में डाला है. इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क, येस. ऑल्सो बैक एंड फोर्थ बहुत रहता है, बिकॉज जब वो नरेट कर रहे होते हैं वो सिर्फ लीनियर नरेशन नहीं होगा. तो हमने फिर इनके साथ ही बैठ के अ लॉट ऑफ द बुक इज because he also suggested it in a certain way कि पहले हम, you know, initial we'll talk about my maternal grandparents, paternal grandparents, फिर हम कराची की लाइफ, फिर हम मुंबई कब आए, मुंबई के बाद बचपन में ये हुआ, हम लोग प्रेम कोर्ट, यू नो, चर्च गेट में रहते थे, ये हमारा this was our, you know, this was our cultural life, this was our social life. Then it comes to his uncle J.C. Jain, जो बहुत important part है. Not just that, इसमें एक बहुत ब्यूटीफुल चीज़ है. 3 पैरेलल्स हैं इस बुक में. एक तो द हिस्ट्री ऑफ माइग्रेशन फ्रॉम कराची टू मुंबई एंड देन दुबई, दैट इज़ वन बिग स्ट्रैंड. द सेकेंड इज़ बॉलीवुड ऑफ दैट टाइम एंड देन हिज ओन स्टोरी. सो ये 3 स्ट्रैंड्स है ये बुक के अंदर वीव होते रहता है, एंड वो बीच बीच में, एंड ऑल विथ ब्यूटिफुल पिक्चर्स and beautiful experiences. So for me this was a journey where it's an archive, it's a film archive, because ये photos rare हैं, किसी ने इनको देखे नहीं, इनके पास ही थे, and he owns the rights to all these pictures. तो ऐसे नहीं कि हमने कहीं से डाउनलोड किए, no, all the pictures are from his own personal collection, and we have the albums, and we have to give credit to a photographer especially Mr. Kamal, जिन्होंने, क्योंकि इतने सारे फोटोज़ को हम स्कैनर में ही डाल सकते हैं, इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा आइडिया निकाला, उन्होंने फ़ोटोज़ के फ़ोटोज़ खींचे. तो फिर क्या हो जाता है, उसका रेजोल्यूशन हाई हो सकता है, देन यू कैन पुट इट अप, उसको यू कैन ब्लो इट अप इन अ पेज. इनके इतने रेयर पिक्चर्स हैं. देयर इज़ अ फोटो ऑफ हिज मदर एंड हिज फादर क्लिक्ड इन अ कराची स्टूडियो इन द 1940s, वेयर, एंड उसमें लिखा हुआ है बिफोर मैरिज, एंड शी वॉज जूइश एंड ही वॉज पंजाबी, एंड दे वर कोर्टिंग. एंड इमेजिन ये दोनों ने जाके एक स्टूडियो में फोटो खींचा है, तो वो भी एक बोल्ड बात है ना उस जमाने के लिए.
नहीं, शादी करने के बाद 3 साल तो किसी को बताया नहीं कि शादी की. They were staying in their own houses for 3 years. They didn't tell anybody, क्योंकि मदर का फादर इतना कट्टर जूइश था, वो कह रहा था कि तुम बाहर शादी करोगी तो मैं तुमको जहर दे के मार दूंगा और खुद जहर पी लूंगा. I mean it was that bad. And they were neighbors, सामने सामने रहते थे एक बिल्डिंग में. जो बिल्डिंग मैंने कराची में जाके देखी, कहाँ पे मैं पैदा हुआ था. तो मैं जब कराची गया, जहीर अब्बास मेरे दोस्त हैं जो क्रिकेटर हैं पाकिस्तान के, मेरे बड़े जिगरी दोस्त हैं, मेरे भाई हैं. तो वो मुझे लेके गए रात को कि भाई चल तेरे को लेके जाता हूँ, तेरी बर्थ प्लेस ढूंढते हैं. तो ये बड़ा अच्छा किस्सा है. तो रात को 1:30 बजे पार्टी रखी थी उसने मेरे लिए. तो 1:30 बजे जब चले गए, कहते चल गाड़ी में बैठ के, किधर है. मैंने कहा भैया मुझे मालूम नहीं, कोई क्लिफ्टन जगह है और एक रीगल थिएटर होता था उसके सामने से, मुझे इतना बस याद है मेरी मदर का. तो उसने वहाँ पे गए और रात को 1.5 घंटे तक हम लोग कुछ जगह बिल्डिंग, इमेजिन आफ्टर सो मेनी 40 ईयर्स और सो मेनी ईयर्स. तो अच्छी माँ के साथ फ़ोन पे था, सड़क पे चल रहे हैं कि मम्मी ये बिल्डिंग कैसी दिखती थी. उसके बिल्डिंग आर्चेस थे, दरवाज़ा कैसा था. अब बिल्डिंग इतने सालों के बाद जो बिल्डिंग खड़ी हुई है कि नहीं पता नहीं, वो हमने बिल्डिंग ढूंढी. मेरी मदर कहती वो आर्चेस वाली है. हाँ दरवाज़ा है, कहाँ. अब पहले माले पे जाओ, पहले माले पे लेफ्ट साइड वाला घर मेरा था और राइट साइड वाला घर उनके पापा का था. तो मैं वहाँ पे गया और इट वॉज सच एन इमोशनल मोमेंट फॉर मी टू गो टू माई बर्थ प्लेस वेयर आई वॉज बॉर्न. तो ऐसी ऐसी चीज़ें जब हुई हैं और जब मैं गया वहाँ पे, तो ये सब चीज़ें जो है ये जहन में रह जाती कि भाई यू वेंट टू सी योर बर्थ प्लेस इन कराची वेयर यू वर बॉर्न। और मेरा शाम को 9 बजे रात को जन्म हुआ था, ऑल इंडिया रेडियो आता था, तो ये ऑल इंडिया रेडियो है, 9 बजे की न्यूज़ सुनो, एंड माई क्राइम, दिस माई मदर टोल्ड मी दिस, ऑल दिस थिंग्स, सो दीज आर ऑल थिंग्स विच you remember as a child when you're growing up.
आप एक film के encyclopedia when we are now listening to you and knowing more about your life. Dubbing King का title आपको मिला था before you moved to Dubai. The trend is so phenomenal right now of South industry, which you introduced then back then with Apu Raja and so many films. What's been your experience of time, that time, and now when you see the whole South trend, what do you have to say on that?
I sit down and smile when I watch these films, when I see all these big film producers like Karan Johar and everybody else who are part of Bahubali and RRR and all these big films. And I sit and said, जब मैंने डबिंग शुरू की थी तब मुझ पे हंस रहे थे कि भाई कौन सी पागल है जो साउथ की फिल्म ला के हिंदी मेन स्ट्रीम सिनेमा में दिखा रहा है। तो जो बट आई हैड अ सर्टेन विजन कि आई सेड साउथ is a treasure of filmmaking. There are geniuses in South, and because of the language problem, that South has remained South, and the rest of it is India. South Indians don't consider themselves as part of India. They have their own world, and they have their Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, all these films which they make, and in that area they make their money and they are happy. But they didn't ever venture to move out to bring that talent out to the mainstream, to the rest of India. मैंने जब ये सोचा कि भी ऐसे ऐसी फिल्में बनती थी, स्क्रिप्टिंग, म्यूजिक, the direction, the acting, the action, all these elements which make a good film were all there, but nobody spotted them. So when I saw some of the films, especially of Mani Ratnam to me is like God. He is my Steven Spielberg. Like I adore Steven Spielberg, Mani Ratnam was my Steven Spielberg of India. But he was not brought into mainstream cinema. He was in his own zone. So when I bought his films, like Nayakan, like Dalapati, like all these other films which were made, I brought him to mainstream cinema. Rahman's music, which I brought to mainstream. All these things were done, and it was suddenly created waves, but eventually it was all about money. So when you sit down about money, and a film like Apu Raja, which I bought for 30 lakhs, I made 5 crores out of it. But these people were making films for 50, 60 crores and making 5 crores out of it. So that time, this was the equation. But you created a parallel cinema to the mainstream, and that is what people didn't like, because I'm trying to create a parallel cinema which people didn't like. But the audience started loving what I was bringing to them, and they started appreciating it. So that is where the difference came. And I said that someday they will understand what I'm trying to say. And today, after 35 years, when I see a Tamil film or a Telugu film being dubbed into Hindi, today you must be seeing there are more Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada films being released in every week than an Indian film. The flow of Indian films has completely come to a standstill. You will find one film releasing every month or 2 months or 3 months, but you will find 3 films, Tamil films being released, but dubbed in Hindi. What does this show? I mean, look at Pushpa, for example. Pushpa 2 is a classic example. I mean, what that film has done in created history, the Indian cinema has not been able to do till now. So this is the trend which I started, but I think I was a little ahead of time, like Mera Naam Joker was made, which was ahead of its time. But it was a visionary film. And what I did at that time was something which I had a vision someday which has come true. And I'm so happy about it that people are now accepting it and doing it in television and in mainstream cinema.
मेरा सवाल आप दोनों से है. Which is that part in the book which is your favorite, and you feel that your heart is wrenched reading about it, And which would be your parts that you would recommend as an author to the audience when the book is released on the 5th?
It's a very unfair question because the whole book is something, it's a labor of love. I would want people to read all the pages, but more than that, the pictures are very, very sacred to the book because the entire focus, soul of the book is the pictures. So I would, for people who cannot read all of those words, they should surely look at the pictures and the captions because they have a parallel. पूरा आप सिर्फ pictures ही पढ़ लोगे, pictures के captions पढ़ लोगे, आपको पूरी कहानी समझ में आ जाएगी. Because that is what it is. I cannot look for one specific instances. I'm sorry because it's like a child. So, yeah.
What about you?
My favorite part of the book,
Yes. Which you would recommend?
which I would recommend,
Which is
the favorite part of my book is to admission of all the mistakes that I've made in my childhood, not childhood, but in my young age. And those mistakes which have affected the lives of many of my, especially my children, my wife and my family. That is my biggest regret, which has forced me to write this book. And fortunately, my son is with me today, and I would like to call him if we can have a small chat with him. Nikhil, can I have a book? And I remember my son is here. Nikhil, my son, and he's the younger one. And what is the favorite part of my book? The favorite part of my book is the reason of this book is the admission of what my children missed as in their childhood as a father, for a father. And that is a very strong thing for a reason of my book is that, they didn't have a childhood with the father. And that is something that I miss and which I regret most in my life. And that's what the strength and the basis of this book is. Luckily, Nikhil is here, so he can talk and curse me for whatever has happened in his life.
because on camera, we all, looking forward for the book. What are your emotions at this point in time?
It's a mixed emotion. I mean, obviously he was not there for my childhood, and my mother raised me. She did a great job. Hats off to a woman, single woman in the 1980s, bringing up 2 boys on her own. That's quite commendable. First and foremost is you have to give that the due to her.
Yes, I must say that she has done a wonderful job, and I admire her for it. She is a wonderful woman.
That is, for me, when you ask me the question about Dad first, that comes into the picture. Then, of course, I had the opportunity to get to know Dad. I obviously wanted to, as a young 18, 20-year-old, you start to think about who your dad is. And that's really how I started to talk to Dad about, he came to my graduation and he asked me to come to work with him, which I thought would be an opportunity for getting to know him, which I did. And I was pleasantly surprised. And he's a great businessman, very honest, very straightforward about his work. He's very he's a workaholic. He really runs the business to the T with perfection. Everything has to be absolute. So you learn a lot from that. So obviously I learned a lot of those qualities. And realized also you're a lot like him, my love for music, my love for the arts. I was a DJ in college. I think that came from the fact also that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree as far as he was a singer, he was into music. But I didn't realize that until I got to know him. That, okay, that quality comes from there. The sports aspect. I was a sportsman, I was a nationals in 100 meters. He was a badminton champion. So, those things are it's good to know.
As a father and son, the book is
But he hates Bollywood.
I hate Bollywood. I cannot stand Bollywood. It's one of the things that, I think it's also because Bollywood kind of took my father away from me while I was little. You kind of see the little that. So that kind of gives you that unfortunate, this thing of Bollywood. And I'm not a big fan of Bollywood for that reason.
So the book brings about a beautiful relationship between, families and, with extended family, as you mentioned. Specifically between father and son, both your sons. You have totally, you've been brutally honest about it, and you've mentioned that the book is all about regret. So now when you've both gotten together, is there that room of regret, or the book has kind of whisked that away? You not having him while you were growing up, and you not being there for children.
You want me to answer
Yes,
this?
to both of you, yes.
I mean, of course, when I'm raising my children, I'm very conscious of the fact that I don't want to have my children raised like I was raised. Because when I came back from school, my mom was too busy because she was working. So I was raised by nannies, technically. And I never want that for my children. So I'm very much a hands-on parent. I'm very much a hands-on dad. Right from changing my little ones' nappies to taking my kids to school on my own. I do a lot of what I can do. I take them for holidays, just us. So the bond is very strong from the beginning. I'm very conscious of this because of my childhood with my dad. So that unfortunate childhood also helps you to probably become a better parent. And that's kind of what I'm taking from this lesson of our family.
And the bond now?
Between me and my
Yeah.
dad? Yeah, it's really good. I
Is
mean,
that regret part of it has that, kind of moved on?
yeah, I mean, you have
After
to
doing
move
it.
on. I mean, you cannot just sit and think about, oh, he did this, why? Yeah, I mean, we've spent so much time together now. I've worked with him for 25 years. I've built the business with him. This business that we have today, we built together as a team. It's not a single-handed thing. He didn't do it on his own. I did it with him, right from the start. From he started GTA in 2000, I started it with him in 2001. So we've brought this business together to where it is today, and that is so much more. And a relationship that we've brought, not just as father and son, but also, mentor and mentee, right? And yeah.
What do you have to say on that?
No, I'm very glad he's here with me, and he's been a big source of my strength, and he, I must say, has been a fantastic son to me as a person who's joined me when I started my life in Dubai in 25 years, and he has been a great help in building the business. And I'm very proud of him for whatever he's done and achieved. And he's very, very grounded, he's very grounded. He's got his head on his shoulders. And after he got married, he's been a great dad, as he said. And two lovely granddaughters I have, the beautiful granddaughters. And when I see them and I go and meet them, or they come and see me on weekends, I can see how close he is with them and what the kind of a bond. And I sometimes when I'm sitting and thinking, and this is something that I missed with my children, and I think about it at that time when they're together. But you kind of make up for it by giving that same love and affection to your grandchildren, because कहते हैं ना सूद जो है असल से ज़्यादा प्यारा होता है. So I absolutely adore them, and those are the best moments when we spend time together as a family and be together. So these things and all are there, but the regret inside always remains at some point of time. But you cannot undo what happened. And whatever had happened was due to whatever circumstances beyond your control, or it was in your control, or impulsive decision. Those are all things of the past. There's no point crying over spilt milk. But to move on and see that these things don't repeat itself again in life, and especially for my children and my grandchildren. And this book is a document for my future generation, for my sons, for my grandchildren, for their children. At least there's something they'll remember their Dada by, that who was your grandfather. And I don't have any documentation of who my grandfather was, excepting for a few pictures or photographs which I have of him. But other than that, he's just a picture on the wall. And that picture on the wall remains. Sometimes we don't even remember to clean it. And that's all you remain, end of the day. So documentation is very important. and we have to document our story for our future generations, and that's why this book is there. Tomorrow if it becomes a documentary, who knows? That will be further documentation for it. So that's what it's all about. It's all for them. It's for the future generation.
How fulfilling the experience for this book has been for you as an author?
Oh, it's been one of a kind. I've never written a book like this. I've written books in the past. They're more coffee table books in the royal families. But this is a truly royal experience because, like his name, which means the king of kings, the book has been a very, also it's been a very important, empowering journey because in the middle of the book, I was in between, I took a major decision of my life of quitting a full-time career and starting something on my own. And he helped me take that decision. And I think that clarity of thought, so he's a mentor to me. And I believe that while making the book, and I think there's a pre and post me in the book, so I feel that it has changed me as a person and made me more clear about my life and its mission. So thank you, sir. It's because of you, a lot of the book it's been a journey with him and through his life and through his admitting of his mistakes. So probably I'm more admitting to my mistakes now. So I think that's one of the things that I've learned.
But doesn't that make you feel much better when you
It's
do
more
that?
lighter.
You know, you feel
It's
a lot
lighter.
lighter when you sit down and admit the mistakes you make, because sometimes, you know, we all tend to hide it. We all have skeletons in our cupboards, but we all hide it from the rest of the world. We, you know, throw all the rubbish under the carpet. But when you start admitting it and letting it out, you know, I'm feeling so much lighter and better, and admitting it than somebody else telling you, you did this, you're this kind of a person, that kind. But when you admit it, there's nothing more to discuss because you admitted it. The story ends there. So that is very necessary for somebody to realize it. And I hope my friends, my children, they all, of course they've all made mistakes, but they have to realize it and understand it and move on and become better people. So for this is all becoming a better person at the end of the day. And better person is what? Being honest, having integrity, and having a certain rule and discipline about honesty, whether it's in business, whether it's money matters, or whether it's personal life or your other relationships with your friends. It's as long as you're honest to whatever you're doing, I think you will definitely succeed.
Thank you so much and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.